So guys, now in this video we are going to take a look at these two more tools. Those are DNS Recon and DNS Enum. Let's see them. DNS Recon -H for help page, and you can possibly use these options with the DNS Recon tool. You can see DNSRecon.py. It is written in Python, and you can see you need to specify -d option for the domain name and -n for name server and -r for range. Also you can export this into some database and XML format, CSV, and also JSON. So those are the important options you need to see for the DNS Recon. You can also perform some DNS records like AXFR, reverse lookup, and Google enumeration, and so on. And this DNS Recon also searches for from Google and Bing and other search engines, but this gives limited information. So DNS Recon -d google.com. So let me check, run this command. So we can see we have got bunch of information, name servers of the Google, and also mail exchange servers, and the A record and the quad A record, and also we got the text records from the google.com. You can see there are some errors in the SRV records. So we have also found the service records, but after that we got some errors. So no need to worry about this error. It's probably some syntax error, or in the Python it's saying that list indices must be integers, not size, or slices, not string. So maybe the script have indexing through the strings, that's why we got this error. Okay, we have also got this service errors. So this is the basic usage of the DNS Recon, and there is one more tool called DNS Enum. This is very much useful than DNS Recon. If I say DNS Enum -H, you get these options. So you need to say DNS Enum, and you need to set some options, and these options are optional, and you need to provide the domain name. Alright, let's see some of these options. And here you can see there is brute force options, and you need to specify the file of the subdomains. So if the websites or organization have protected the zone transfer, you do not get any subdomains. In that case, you need to brute force the subdomains by putting the subdomain names in a whole list and just appending to before the domain name, and then sending the HTTP GET request to that subdomain. If we got the response as 200 OK, then the subdomain is alive, or else there is no subdomain with that name. So it's a simple brute forcing technique for finding subdomains. Now we can also set the delay, and you can also do the whois lookup, and you can also exclude some of these records, and you can also output the file in XML format. Okay, now let's perform this DNS Enum. So let's perform on google.com. So this is a normal DNS Enum google.com. That's pretty straightforward, and it's telling you the A record, and also A records for the name servers, and also A records for the mail exchange servers. You can also see the name servers themselves and also mail exchange servers themselves. And then here it's trying to ask for zone transfer, and it's almost failed because the google.com have some access control list, so that only the servers from other DNS servers, other name servers, can access this zone transfer. So now here you can see brute forcing with USR share DNS Enum DNS.txt. This is the default text file that contains some of the famous or common subdomains, and using that words in this text file, it will append before this google.com and checks for a GET request. As you can see, the DNS.txt contains about www3 accounts, etc. So these words are appended before the google.com and then checked for if there is a subdomain for that name or not. If there is subdomain, then it will go and check some DNS enumeration, and we got the canonical name for this about.google.com as www.google.com, and this in return is another subdomain, and it contains the A record. So we got the IP address of the subdomain. So as you can see, there are accounts.google.com, admin.google.com, and so on. There are so many subdomains. We got this from dns.txt, right? You can also give your custom word list using the -f option. So I'm going to stop this. So what you want to type is, you want to type -f, and let's first let me show you the text file. So these are some normal data, just to make sure that the new.txt contains some information to be checked. Now what we do is, since we got some subdomains of google.com, let's copy this trends into this text file. Let's say echo trends. So we got the trends.txt, trends in our new.txt file, right? Now let's say instead of checking the subdomain names in the dns.txt, we will specify our word list file. So we can see whether our these contents of this text file have been tested or not. Now as you can see, that trends.google.com has been got. Okay, we have got the trends.google.com because it's take the name and put it appended before the domain name, and it will become trends.google.com, and it's checked against this google.com subdomains. So it has found it is a canonical name to this www.google.com, that is like another alternative name, and this is also a subdomain, right? And this is actual subdomain, and this is trends.google.com is a canonical name. So you can see www.google.com has the A record, that is IP address. Okay, it's also, we also got the IP address ranges, and it also performed the reverse lookups on those IP addresses we have found. So let me stop this one, and now what I want to do is I will perform the same on the zone transfer.me. So here we can see, since this zone transfer.me allows the DNS record sharing, we got the trying zone transfers and getting bind version. So DNS enum tool is trying zone transfer for this domain on this name server, and this name server allows the DNS zone information to be shared. That's why we are getting all this information. You can see there are so many service of authority records and text records, mail exchange records, and you can see all the whole information stored in this name servers, right? You can see so much of the subdomains here, xss.zonetransfer.me, which we have seen in the previous videos, and it also trying to ask for zone transfer from this second name server, and this name server also allows. That's why we have got this all this information. And now we can see brute forcing with dns.txt. Suppose dns.txt contains this XSS and it won't be checked because we have already got the zone information from the name servers. That's why it will perform any new subdomains. So I'm going to stop this because it will take so much time, and we will get no information because we have already got all the information from the name servers. So this is all about the DNS record and the DNS enum. So DNS enum is pretty much a good tool than DNS record, but you can use the both in some scenarios. So I hope you have understood.